Hi everyone, and welcome to the grand finale of my short video series preparing you for the release of Bioware's much anticipated new IP Anthem. Today, we're going to explore 7 of the top games to play right now while waiting for Anthem to release. My name is Adore, and I'll be your guide today. These aren't in any particular order, but are all absolutely worth your time. Stick around to the end of the video because you may see one of your favorites here, and there just might be a surprise. Without further ado, here is our list. Number 1, Mass Effect Andromeda Multiplayer. What better way to start on our list than with Bioware's last success, her failure, at least to a lot of players out there. Personally, I only just finished the main story of Mass Effect Andromeda. The reason? Sometime in the campaign I became bored and quit the game. That's a huge thing for someone who collectively has put in thousands of hours into Bioware's incredible franchises. But that isn't the whole story. Thankfully, I found that just like I had with the prior game, Mass Effect 3, I absolutely fell in love with this multiplayer suite. While it certainly won't appeal to everyone, Mass Effect Andromeda's multiplayer is for many a rare gem. You start out with only a small assortment of classes, one of which is actually considered one of the strongest classes in the game, the Human Infiltrator. As you level up your character, just like in all the single-player games of Mass Effect, you unlock points that you can use to upgrade various aspects of your class. But the catch is, there's always a trade-off. So, as an example, your chosen class might have a flamethrower, and so on a level up, you might choose to trade a shorter recharge time for longer reach. That's an amazing system, because it allows you to sacrifice flamethrower uptime, but gain massive utility, which allows you to be more range-focused and cover-focused, rather than playing dangerous in close quarters all the time. Every ability works this way, and while there aren't as many unique powers and varied classes as Mass Effect 3, what is here is still excellent. Each match plays out as a Horde-style match, with 7 rounds, apart from a few challenge matches which might have more rounds. What makes the multiplayer so special is that there are quite a few different objectives, and they're constantly changing between matches, ensuring that every match feels pretty different. Better yet, with all the different powers that combo off of each other, different team setups demand entirely new strategies for team cohesion. Unlike some multiplayer games, teamwork is incredibly important, and there is significant incentive to making sure that everyone stays alive and is quickly revived if they ever go down. Both because the entire team gets more points at the end, so long as everyone is alive, achieving a full extraction, and because at harder difficulties, the game is really challenging. Thankfully, unlike a lot of games, Mass Effect does not contain a ton of bullet sponge enemies. Time to kill, or TTK, is pretty excellent, even if a bit longer than the previous game. Where the difficulty comes in is usually with enemy variety. There are 3 factions and one other faction that shows up on certain maps, but at the highest difficulty of Platinum, you have to contend with virtually everything. The best part about leveling up your character is that you're pretty viable once you reach level 20, and any experience gained after that upgrades a particular stat permanently. So, you might gain a tiny percentage point in overall recharge speed for all characters and abilities every time you upgrade a certain class past level 20. On top of this, the grind comes in needing to spend points on packs that might contain a character card, leveling up your Human Infiltrator class from, say, level 5 to level 6. With these increases in class level, not to be confused with character level, you gain even more points, allowing you to push many classes into God-tier champion status. Packs might also include weapons or consumables like fire-based ammo or disruptor ammo that significantly increases damage against shielded enemies. The main negatives of the game come in the fact that Bioware ended up dropping support for the game a lot sooner than many people thought they would, And they polluted the loot pool by dropping in several variants which caused hundreds of more weapon types to have to grind for, making it take longer to unlock basically everything. Number 2. Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six, one of the few franchises that still caters strongly towards those gamers who desire tactical warfare in their lives. While certainly breaking away from the mold, Rainbow Six Siege is a masterclass in the PvP experience. Few games require the immense amount of time necessary to become proficient as Rainbow Six Siege. One thing that Siege lacks, though, is a true progression system. Everything for the most part is unlocked from the start, apart from character classes. Once you unlock a class, you can equip any weapon or gadget available to them. The sheer grind here is real, and the game offers several packages the player can buy to unlock most, if not all, of the available operators. I think most people would say that the game isn't really about unlocking things, rather it's about experiencing a unique and tactical gameplay experience that pretty much demands a good set of quality headphones. Whether it's kicking, beating, or simply footsteps, one must take care to listen and pay attention to everything that's happening around them. Walls can be shot through, blown up, even booby-trapped. Game modes offer variety as well. While one game match, you might end up saving a hostage from would-be terrorists attacking and kidnapping her. In another, you might disarm bombs wired to blow, all while taking care to find and take out every player from the other team. Due to the way that matches play out, a competent player with pinpoint precision and tactical knowledge of the map, gained through a grueling amount of playtime, can certainly take out an entire team. Each character has a special ability that makes them pretty unique. One of my favorites is a knife-wielding assassin, who can mask the sound of her footsteps almost completely, allowing for quick work of her unsuspecting prey. Due to her stealthy playstyle, she can be a wonderful asset to any team. Really though, all the classes are unique and fun, and the game gives you just so many different options for dispatching and outwitting your opponents. It has become a PvP experience unlike any other, and is absolutely loved by those who have taken the time to master its mechanics. The major negative for me personally though is that they've chosen to move away from the ultra realism towards zany and often anime cosmetic outfits and weapon skins. Now, the skins on weapons are probably easier to forgive, but this is supposed to be Rainbow Six, and anime characters just don't make sense to me. As with everything, this might not bother you at all, but my personal preference would be an option to turn off all the silliness. Try the game out, you just might fall in love. Number 3. Dauntless. Perhaps an odd choice to put on my list, but I do happen to be an incredibly happy alpha founder of the game who has put in hundreds of hours and made suggestions to help shape the game into the absolute blast that it is today. Unlike the last 2 games on the list, Dauntless is a free-to-play game, so many changes have been made to it that to talk about it in its original form would be a major disservice to the game. With an art style in the vein of Fortnite, a game I admit I've never played, Dauntless looks a very cartoony and silly game. What it actually is, though, is something entirely different. Taking a different approach to monster hunting in a lot of ways, Dauntless plays out like a co-op Dark Souls game with significant MMO inspirations. Taking on behemoths, the game's version of monsters, is an absolute joy with deliberate attack animations, various combos, and weapon abilities. When I first started playing Dauntless in Alpha, its most boring weapon, the sword, only had a few basic attacks, and the ability to shoot out a wave of energy that powered up your attacks. Now, the sword is upgraded to being at max energy levels. It's able to fling constant waves of elemental energy, just like Excalibur and Warframe. Beside that, you can do a sort of teleport jump with invulnerability frames to always keep you close to the action. Every weapon type has been retuned multiple times. You can use axes, war pikes, new repeater guns, and so much more. Some weapons cause wounds to behemoths, allowing your other players to do significantly more damage to them, and others stagger monsters or even boop them, knocking them over mid-flight and allowing everyone to get free hits on the helpless beast. It's gruesome stuff, but the parts that you break off are used to make new elemental types of normal weapons and armor for unique looks and special abilities. There are even exotic weapons and armor in the game. One weapon is called Hunger. It's a sword that, with recent updates, allows you to increase your damage to staggering levels while constantly draining health. And there's even another helmet called Prismatic Grace that ensures you keep 1% of your health when you first go down and gives you a temporary 10-second shield. Better yet, anytime you're revived, that person gains a Prism Shield too. And these exotic weapons and armor can be comboed together to awesome effect. The game is full of interesting behemoths with raid-like mechanics. One called Rift Stalker will pull you and your party into an alternate dimension of shadow, bounce you around flinging shadow balls and itself at you through various portals. Another will create constant streams of bullet hell mazes with radiant energy. The best part is after defeating one of these epic behemoths like the Rezakiri, you can make a radiant or other elemental weapon that will help you decimate monsters weak to that element. Rainbow swords exist in the game, and even an exotic war pike that shoots out a rainbow beam. But getting such legendary items is a monumental task. Beasts in this game are both interesting and lifelike in their animations, and this game just begs to be played in 2019. Number 4, Destiny 2. Who could forget the juggernaut that has been Destiny for the last few years? Destiny is a first-person shooter that many have called Anthem a clone of. They certainly have similarities, but I don't think such a description does justice to either title. Destiny has 3 classes each, with unique abilities and super attacks. Warlocks are quick and nimble magic users that dominate the battleground with various elemental attacks. Having a certain proficiency to command the elements, warlocks can throw balls of dark void energy that pull enemies in, or even go all Darth Sidious on everyone with cascading bolts of lightning from their hands. The strongest class, Titans, can wield giant flaming hammers or throw axes, and the fastest and most agile class, the Hunters, can shoot out void arrows that tether enemies in place like webs, throw grenades that disorient, and even turn invisible. The best thing about Destiny is its intricate and expertly crafted raids. Massive undertakings for 6 players with puzzles, interesting bosses, and other challenges. Destiny 2 is an MMO like World of Warcraft, and as such, these endgame activities don't disappoint. Destiny 2 also offers an incredibly fun PvP mode, and more recently, an even better PvEVP mode called Gambit, wherein players must deal with NPC enemies and player characters who invade their match, just like in Dark Souls, even clothed in that series' staple crimson aura. It is super fun, and has some secrets that are sure to please fans obsessed with sci-fi fantasy lore. Destiny 2 has an incredible universe, full of varied activities and fun things to do, and after thousands of hours put in this game and its previous iteration, I still jump in from time to time to see whether the franchise's elusive vendor ever sells anything good. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. Destiny 2's major downside that I'm hoping Anthem will in time address is an incredible overusage of bullet sponge enemies. Number 5. The Division. Speaking of bullet sponges, the next game on my list has tons of them, or at least at launch it did. Thankfully, they've toned things down a bit, but if you hate the way that Diablo plays, you might want to give this one a pass. The Division is a curious game. It was plagued with immense controversy due to both the aforementioned bullet sponge enemies and lack of a true endgame when it first launched. Both a looter shooter and cover-based shooter, The Division tasks you with taking back the city after a horrible virus has caused absolute chaos and civil unrest. You can carry 2 main weapons and a sidearm, which can in fact be a sawed-off shotgun, one of my own personal choices. Like Destiny, a big drive in this game is loot, and in particular, the best guns and armor, which are classed exotic and classified. These each offer unique abilities that you will not find anywhere else, such as several that combo with other weapons for some absolutely disastrous effects. Armor even has set bonuses, such as headshots that tag enemies and stack, increasing bullet damage exponentially. Like other games on this list, this game has consumable items that you can find in the game that give you weapon ammunition that burns enemies or helps take out high-level enemies with explosive power. The Division even has a very unique enemy that can show up in various game modes and give unsuspecting squads a real run for their money. Perseverance against them, however, rewards a very high chance of exotics and top-tier weapons dropping. Upgrading your main headquarters also gives you access to new abilities, like a turret that you can throw out that electrocutes enemies, or a mobile shield that with the right armor set bonus can be used in conjunction with a powerful submachine gun, like the House Exotic. Tons of build variety, but a horrible inventory management system that sours my enjoyment a little. If you're interested in Anthem right now, The Division might be right up your alley. The Division 2 is actually right around the corner and is sure to enhance what eventually made the first game so great. Number 6. Warframe. The non-AAA game that stands tall on its own. Without spoiling a lot, Warframe is an exceptional game, and right off the bat, while I've loved it at times, floaty controls in combat have always in time pulled me away. I know this is just a personal preference, however, as it is not shared by most who have taken the time to play one of the best free-to-play games out there. Most people just love the feeling of being a super-powered space ninja. For the record, I played both the alphas and betas, demos, that released recently of Anthem. I fell in love with Anthem's combat, and for me, Warframe just isn't tight enough. But again, you'll probably adore it. Warframe has so many different classes and weapons. We're talking dozens of unique classes, hundreds of swords, knives, scythe, flamethrowers, rocket launchers, shotguns, the list goes on and on. You name it, Warframe likely has it. Warframes are so unique, in fact, that one of them can turn bug size and fly like a butterfly of death, slicing to pieces anything that decides to try and spot her. It's a true grind though. To make anything, you need to find or buy blueprints. Once you have those, you'll have to find all the parts for a weapon or frame, and after that, you'll have to wait for your foundry to create the item you've had your heart set on. It's a game I love and hate. People will defend to the end of time the building time required for everything, but I think it is both unnecessary and a huge negative to an otherwise incredibly polished looter shooter. Warframe has some of the best story quests you will ever play in your entire life. I guarantee it, and it is because of this I will shy away from any major details. It's a known fact that asking most Warframe players anything about the story will get you an answer like, wait and see. The player base is as passionate about the story and its many winding pathways and exceptional writing as they are about Fashion Frame, the true endgame here. Warframe has so many systems, but the reward is incredible even if you do have to spend hours looking over wiki pages and watching build guides. The game is completely third person though, so it gets top marks from me. Number 7. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands was an incredible surprise for me. I haven't played a Ghost Recon game in probably over a decade, but I quickly fell in love with its beautifully crafted world and the immense freedom afforded to the player. Almost every single objective in this game can be tackled in any manner you like. Whether you want to be a guns-blazing Rico Rodriguez and reenact scenes from Just Cause, or play your version of Solid Snake or Splinter Cell, taking every mission on quietly and with stealth. The game allows all of it, rewards all of it, and is just an absolute joy to play. I've had more fun in this game than a lot of games in years, and I'm not even a huge shooter fan, to be perfectly honest. I just enjoy good games, and while flawed, Wildlands is a very good game. The world is a staggering size, but what truly blew me away was just how varied the environments are. I love snow-capped mountains. With all the settings turned up to max on my PC, areas of this world look lifelike at times. The most majestic mountains loom in the distance, climbing high into the clouds of a very realistic weather system. You can explore swamps and salt flats, drive dangerously close to the edge on narrow and winding cliff sides. Even parachute from basically anywhere. There are hundreds of different weapons, realistic attachments and skins to apply, tons of things to unlock. It's a true sandbox that I love to play in. One of the main abilities you have in your arsenal is a drone that you can upgrade as you level up, gaining abilities like EMP and explosive modes, or even annoying music to distract guards. There is no right or wrong way to play, but I implore you to mix it up. Variety is the spice of life, after all. A favorite aspect of mine that Wildlands nails is a real sense of having a squad by your side, even in single player. They're pretty competent, and the game uses a smart system that, while unrealistic in its approach, works really well to allow you to play a stealth character while still having your team there for support. Enemies can't see your companions unless you go loud, and they can be upgraded to be an absolute death squad. You can even sync your shots with them, which makes it feel like you just told a friend to take out the other guy at the same time as you. I loved this. It reminded me of Rainbow Six Vegas and even Mass Effect. There just aren't enough games that give you full, fun AI to play around with, and dress up any way you like, when you just want to have a chill single-player experience. I really liked that I could have a Division agent, the future soldier from that one Ghost Recon game, and even an assassin from Assassin's Creed running around with me, blowing up enemy vehicles and stopping convoys. If there's one thing I can say about Wildlands in 2019, it is that the game is super fun, and if you get a good team online, it can be even better. Well, that's my list. Did I miss your favorite game? Don't forget to tell me how much I messed up in the comments. So wait. I'm missing something, aren't I? There was this little known game that just took an industry by storm and already has over 10 million people sinking their teeth into it. Mixing together some of the best aspects of Battle Royale games from the past and adding in amazing squad mechanics like spotting and fixes to the down and out gameplay, Apex Legends is a true Battle Royale game that might make you think differently about the genre. Sporting 8 classes currently, with more on the way, Apex's heroes are capable of creating fast zip lines all over the map or setting up teleports their team can use to quickly get out of damage at a moment's notice. If, like me, you haven't been playing Battle Royales, here's a quick recap of the mechanics. Everyone starts out by landing at their chosen location with nothing but the shirt on their back. They then have to scrounge together anything they can find to make them a strong fighter for the battle to come. There are other squads all over the huge and diverse map doing the exact same thing, and to make matters worse, the map is constantly getting smaller as a ring of death creeps across the battlefield. Weapons come in many varieties and have various attachments with levels of rarity, and with that, effectiveness. Shield armor pickups are especially important, as an epic purple shield can make all the difference in a tense firefight. All squads work to take out all the other squads, and to be the last squad, or man standing in Apex's case, there is an overarching game show event that our heroes are taking part in. Unlike most battle royales, a death here might not be permanent. A player enemy needs to finish you either with guns or a cosmetic kill animation if they get close enough to you. But losing all your health and shields puts you in only a down but not out state. You can be revived by another squad mate, and if you're picked up a knockout shield, you can defend yourself and your own squad from incoming fire while they hold the button to get you back up. If, however, you're finished off, as long as one person in your squad remains, they can go to your dead body, pick up your banner, and if they can limp away to a revive station, they can bring you back to the fight, albeit beaten and without any of your gear. Just like in Dark Souls, a player that's brought back can find their corpse and get it all back, but the risks might not be worth it, and the biggest risk is that death ring, which may have already swallowed the area a player died in. The game is pure fun, and I've never been a fan of the genre, but the fact that so many people use mics and really seem to take things seriously, and the changes made to squad play make for a very enjoyable play experience. If your whole squad dies, no worries, just go back to the lobby, find a new squad, and try again. You can unlock cosmetic skins, voice lines with multiple takes I might add, and other items to really make yourself stand out on the battlefield. But all of it's optional, and a steady stream of free loot boxes as you level up might dissuade you from pulling out your wallet anytime soon. Creators of the loved Titanfall franchise, Respawn Entertainment, seem to have crafted another smash hit, which just so happens to be set in the same universe. However, let's hope it doesn't slow too much a true numbered Titanfall game, as Titanfall 2 kinda was amazing. Okay, I'm really done this time, but please, let me know if I missed anything. Also, subscribing, that helps and makes me really happy. You can do so for free right now by clicking the button right over there. It's red, you can't miss it. Please, just click it, and don't forget to ring the bell also. It looks like a bell, okay? Don't you know what a bell looks like? If you don't ring the bell, I have really sad news. You won't hear from me very often. Sad face. Please share this video everywhere, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, bye-bye.